Hello, my friends. Here I am back again with the other little gratitude journal. This one is tall and skinny, and this is the first tall, skinny book I have made. I know I'm always late to the party with junk journaling, and these have been trendy for quite a while now, and I just have never gotten around to doing it, but it was kind of fun. And so this one also has this pretty upholstery fabric. It's semi-soft cover, so it's been covered in fabric. I have this little journal tag, and that can be removed easily and replaced with something that you would prefer. I've used this pretty sari silk ribbon again to close it, and another little rusted pin with a bell. Yeah. So let's go inside and take a look at this one. This one is slightly bigger. It has a few more pages than the other small journal. We'll see. It's, I think, a little more heavily decorated. Here is this initial pocket, and this is a vintage calling card, and I've just done a little collage on top of that. This pretty scrapbook paper, and this pretty fabric ruffle here. This is just an old greeting card and a playing card. So those go here in this pocket, and then this is just a pretty image of autumn. I just need that into a tall tag. So these fabric ruffles, they just are constantly shedding their threads. This is a vintage book page all about friendship. So lots of quotes about friends. And I loved that for this particular journal because it's one of my gratitude journals. And I just appreciate all of you so much. You are my friends. And I've just done this little around the page tag, and so very thankful for you, and I really am. And this is just a pretty birthday postcard to Lillian from Grandma. So it was kind of a challenge figuring out how to do these tall pages. It's just a pretty autumn book page pocket. And this is just some of Diane's ephemera, and I've just done some mixed media over the top of this. A little flip out, some stamping. This is a book page pocket, double pocket. So this is a label, a vintage label, and I don't know what that language is, but it looks like it's for peas. So I have that slid behind here, and then here is my cake card. And that slides in there. And then I have this beautiful vintage glassine envelope with just some vintage ephemera. This is not so vintage, but I have embellished that. This is a letter, 1894, from Redding, California. My dear husband and boys. Yeah. There's room on the back to journal. A little bus ticket and Monopoly money. So that is all in here. And then that just slides here in that envelope. And I like the way that all just layers. Yep, I love layers. Here is an around the page. This is pretty journal paper. It's a pretty William Morris print. Beautiful autumn colors. And a rusted paper clip with this ribbon. Here is a tall belly band, diagonal belly band with a little cluster there. And this is for Thanksgiving. So it's part of a November calendar, a vintage calendar. I think it's like 1914 if I remember. And that slides in there. Some lace there on the edge. This is just a little cluster on this fold-up pocket and a note paper. 05. Bank of Springfield. And just this is a pretty parchment paper that I wanted to include. This is another cute, it's like a vintage, some kind of a sales, Victorian sales card. And I thought the colors were so autumn-ish. This is just a little, it's a divider sheet, I think. I've just woven that ribbon through. Here's a little ribbon trim there. Here's a little cluster tuck. And this is texture paste. Here's another little part of that image card. And I've just put a label there. Fits in this envelope. And some fiber there. Here's the other side of the envelope. And this is just some vintage paper from a book, Flyleaf. This is pretty sorry silk ruffle here. Here's the other side, this pretty fold-up pocket and a collage, a vintage stamp, and autumn. This is Rabindranath Tagore. He's an Indian poet. I really love that. It's a beautiful autumn poem. And just a tag. Tall tag and another tall tag. This is just like grocery bag that I glued together and then sewed around the edge there. This is one of my favorite pages because of this beautiful antique lace pocket. And I've just done another little journaling paper, some washi tape, and that just slides in there. I love that. I've put some little jewels along that. Little butterfly cluster. Some fiber in that paper. This is another Victorian, it's 1886. I looked it up. This is the Beggar Children I don't know if you can't read that, maybe. The Beggar Children. And it's an original Victorian sales card for some kind of tonic. And just a little altered guest check. I love this because the colors are just so vibrant. I don't know if the camera will show that, but it's not faded at all. The colors are still just really vibrant. It's a little flip out. Here's another tag with some texture paste. And more of those friendship quotes. Life is nothing without friendship. That is so true. And the last page, just a little bit of vintage lace there in a tuck, and another journaling paper. And that's the end of that one. If you missed the other journal flip through, I hope you'll follow the link. I'll put the link to the other journal in the description box, and you'll find both of these journals listed on Etsy, and comes with all my heart. And I hope that you get some ideas for your own projects, and I'll see you again with a new video. Mwah. Bye.